creative friends. My name is Joey Balistreri. Welcome to my work table. I am playing today with a memory wire bracelet, but a little something different. I found this oval memory wire. The wire itself is round, but the circumference of this coil is oval. And I find that when it comes to bangles, I prefer an oval bangle. In fact, the only bracelet mandrel that I have is an oval one, because if I'm going to make them out of wire, I really gravitate toward an oval bracelet. So I found this and I have it in silver here, and then I have been playing in my own bead stash and I found these little tubes that have a slight curvature to them, and I was thinking how great they fit as kind of the sides of what will be this bead pattern. And so the way I'm going to approach this is by taking a Sharpie marker and making some little marks above and below these tubes about where I want them to be. I'm going to eyeball it. I'm not going to measure. If you can see here what I did, it might be a little hard to see, but I have cut about the same distance here as far as overlapping goes, but you know, that is, you can do it any way you want. You can make it much shorter, but I am going to turn a double loop on each end, which will bring this down, you know, where the overlap is not quite so much. And so what I use to cut the memory wire are special cutters, memory wire cutters, because this is stainless steel cable and you will absolutely put a divot in your regular cutters. Like if you chomp down on it, you'll put a mark and you will always have that divot, and then when you go to cut regular wire, they won't work. I have ruined a couple of pairs, like forgetting, you know, that this was stainless steel cable. And then the other thing that I have is a snub nose plier. This is great for memory wire, for turning the loop, just because my other pliers, my Xuron and my other pliers, are a little bit more delicate for finer things. And so this has a lot of strength for like getting the loops in this stainless steel cable. So I have that there, and let me start out by making those little marks. I'm just going to lay my bracelet here and just kind of put that tube about where I think it's going to go. For me, this doesn't have to be, I tend to measure with my heart. This doesn't have to be super precise, because you know, once it's on the arm and it's moving around, it's not going to matter, like a couple millimeters, but I'm going to do my best to kind of get it centered. I'm just going to make a little mark with this plier above and below that tube. Same thing on this side. I'm not even going to string this one on. I'm just going to kind of lay it there. And this is just going to give me a kind of a baseline for stringing my bead pattern. So I know how many beads to go from here to the end and how many beads to fill up the top part of my bangle. And you know, I'm doing this, but honestly, sometimes I do things almost for video purposes, but if I weren't filming this, I might even just be tempted to sit here and just kind of do the on and off until I had it right. I do that sometimes too, because I find stringing beads is really relaxing. So I forgot I have a click on this pen. So what I have here in my dish is some 6mm faceted Czech glass rounds in this beautiful shiny gold. They are so pretty. Let me see if there's a special name for that gold on the tag. They're from the Halcraft company. It just says glass Czech fire polish. So, but obviously they're gold. And then I also have some mermaid glass here, and my intention is I have silver memory wire, and I have these tubes that I had were in gold, and I also had some silver little 3mm Drux from the Czech Republic left over from one of my KRAFTIKA boxes. So what I love about this particular mermaid glass is not only how neutral it is, but I don't know if the camera will show you, but there are flashes of silver in this mermaid glass and gold. So it really does a beautiful job of mixing with gold and silver, a piece that, you know, is purposefully the two metallic finishes are mixed. So I'm going to play with a pattern of mixing gold and silver. I have some little disc spacers. These are from Purity Beads, as well as these little curved tubes. So they are solid brass. They have gold plating and then an e-coating on top of that. That makes it really last and stay pretty for a really long time. And just like these metals just have a great quality. So I am going to, I can leave that hang out, and I'm going to start by just turning a loop on one end, and I'll just string from the other end. And I do like to wrong way. I do like to use the smallest mandrel on this snub nose plier, just because I don't want a big loop. And I'm thinking, I never know till I'm completely finished, but I'm thinking that I'm not going to even put a charm on this. But I say that, and I may end up using the beads themselves to make some little dangles where the overlap is. We'll see. I always decide that at the last. But anyway, I'm just going to grab a hold of this with a nice, really firm grip and just roll this memory wire back into a loop. And here's where it's just totally, you're the designer if you're doing this. I like to do at least 2 loops, sometimes even 3. I just love the way it looks. I love how it makes this look a little bit more chunky, I guess. And memory wire is notoriously difficult to reshape, so I'm kind of go slow when I'm rolling back, because even to, like, I have this loop at an angle, which is totally okay for me. I actually like it. But if you want to like change the direction of a loop, it's really hard to do on memory wire. So I'm going to start out like that. Let me set some of these aside. And now I'm just going to work on my pattern. I'll be working just from this one side, so I guess I will have to take this off so that I can fill up the part here near the loop that I've turned. Oh, and I was also going to say, if you've never worked with memory wire before, you will see some people who turn their loop under and some people who turn it this way. I do not like it under. I feel like it presses into my wrist. I don't know. There's something that I don't care for, but there's not a right or wrong. It's really personal preference. So I am going to open this. Again, I actually had made some jewelry with this for my sister-in-law, and then put everything back the way that it was. And I think, since I am going to be having a silver loop, I think I'm going to start with one of these Czech glass rounds. When I'm mixing metals like that, I like to alternate. Like, I see the silver loop, so my next bead would be gold, and just kind of make it purposeful in my pattern and evenly mixed. And then I think I'm going to try one of these little silver drucks. They're so pretty. They look metallic, even though it's glass. It's a really pretty muted finish. Look at that. I already love the mix of the gold and silver. And then let's see, maybe another one of these Czech glass rounds. And for me, this pattern play is so much fun, and I don't even mind if I have some on and off. I actually just love to play with beads, and I'll sometimes work on a pattern, getting it just so, on and off, until I'm just really, really happy with the way everything is sitting. Oh wow, look at that, you guys. That is so pretty. So I'm just going to sit here and play with what I want to do with the pattern, and also get myself around to where my bar will be on the side here. I don't know if you can see, but I can see my 2 marks, so I kind of have an idea how far I have to string, right up to that little mark right there. That is so pretty. That is so pretty. So I've come up to my mark so I can put my last tube, my other side on. Look at that, you guys. What a gorgeous bangle bracelet. And now I'm just going to repeat this pattern here exactly and turn a loop on this end the same way that I did here. Oh, I just love this. It's so elegant and so festive, and because of the nice mix of gold and silver, this could so easily be layered with almost anything else. So I'm going to do that same thing and use the smaller of my mandrels on the snub nose plier, and I always find that I can do a little bit better job. I'm going to make sure that that's in between the two barrels of the plier just so that I don't have anything sharp in my loop. But I always find that I do a little bit better job of making loops on memory wire if I'm rolling towards me instead of away from me. And just like with any wire working that I do, I find that if I go slowly, I get a much better result. Look at that. That is so gorgeous. I am so thrilled to have found oval memory wire, and it's just gorgeous. Now on a memory wire bracelet like this, you can do like make these shorter and do a clasp just like you would on a regular bracelet. But for me, kind of the beauty of it is the easy on and off, and you can kind of, you know, now that the beads are on, you can kind of like reshape it, kind of keep it in that oval form. And so now from here, I was thinking I was just going to leave this plain, but I could like do a little bead dangle on each, do one of these and one of these maybe. Let's make a couple of dangles. I think that would be pretty. Let me get some ball head pins. Okay, from here it's just more like bead stacking, you know, more pattern play. I just love that. Let me put maybe one of these guys on. And I think that I will do a wire wrapped loop because my ball head pins are solid brass, but they are really small. So I think I'm going to do a wire wrapped loop here. So just put a bend in the wire and come in with my round nose pliers, and I want a really small loop. And I will take a couple of jump rings and add these dangles to the loops with jump rings. You can attach it directly to your wrapped loop, but I like the movement of a jump ring, so I generally add those, you know, add things with jump rings. And just trim. And this is a little jump ring that I made with 20 gauge wire. Open it a little bit more so that I don't struggle getting it onto the loop. Oh, that is just absolutely gorgeous. I love the sparkle in this, and I think I'm going to do the same thing again add one of these little silver drucks. Again, I like that I have a gold ball head pin and then a silver bead and then this little mermaid glass with the gold and silver flash in it. It's just so pretty. And same thing again, just put a bend and put my tip of my round nose pliers in there. How gorgeous is this bracelet? Oh my goodness, I love this so much. And it was so simple and such a fast, fun project. Look how pretty. Just that little addition of 2 little dangling beads. Now I will do one more thing that I like to do. Most of you, I know that I have a lot of people that like to make jewelry along with me, so this will not be new to you, but I like to use Permalac. It is a really thin anti-tarnish coating, and I will not need it on any of the E-coated brass that I use. And even though these have a metallic feel, they are glass, so I won't need it for that. But my ball head pins are brass and they are just gold plated. So even though it is small, I don't want that little ball to turn black. So I'm just going to brush it on, and then I'll get over here. My jump ring is made from wire with an anti-tarnish coating, so I don't really need to coat that, but you know, this is going to touch that jump ring a little bit, but I'm just doing that just to make sure that my wire doesn't tarnish, and also the end of the memory wire, because this is just stainless steel cable, and memory wire can also tarnish and darken. And the nice thing about the Permalac is if you're using the semi-gloss, which is what I'm using, if you accidentally brush a bead or a crystal or something, it doesn't cloud it. The matte one, I am told, will cloud crystals. I just have never bought it. I always buy the semi-gloss. And I can link this in the description box below, because if you sell your work in particular, it is so nice that when people have purchased your work, that they have it for a really long time and they don't have to worry about tarnish. It's just a really nice detail, nice quality, and you can list it in your descriptions, like on your websites. You know, you can list that your metal findings all have an anti-tarnish coating. It's a great selling point, because you know, fashion jewelry is not known for its longevity, but if you make it this way, it definitely can. Look at this sweet little bracelet, you guys. Permalac dries really quickly, but I'm just gonna lay it there for a second. And so check the description box of this video. I will put links to the Permalac coating, I always link my favorite tools. There's like a long list of my favorite tools that I've collected over the years. And these beads came from the KRAFTIKA company. I get 2 boxes a month, monthly subscription bead boxes that come directly from the Czech Republic. And these were left over from one of those boxes. I just love getting Czech beads from the Czech Republic. It's so wonderful. So I will put some pictures up at the end of the video, and I thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you found a little technique or some inspiration in this quick and easy bracelet project. And as you could see, it's so fun. You could really sit and make like a whole armful of these and make them for gifts. I mean, just really, really fun. What a beautiful little bracelet. I just love it. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao, creative friends.